Hey, soul fam, Amelia Adair here. I hope you guys are feeling good and doing good. I'm feeling good. I'm doing good. And y'all know I got a great topic for you today. And as promised, we talked about this in a live that I did. And we was talking about where's the table, right? And we was getting to some things. I was just like, whoo, I gotta do this video sitting down because there was some things that I didn't get to touch on, and we gonna just go a little further. We're gonna go a little bit more in depth, yes. But before we get into this topic, so fam, let me put that $1,000,000 into your life, okay? And remember, close enough is perfect, okay? Because we could say 500,000. I was laughing because of my other videos. I was like, we could say 500,000. That's how we say it in New York. Well, at least that's from what I know, it's like that. It's like slang a little bit. So, anywho, let's jump into today's topic, so fam, and let's talk about where is that table. Right? Because a lot of men and women are always talk about this table that they bring, right? They talk about, I'm the table, so, which is great. We should be the table. But let's talk about what is expected if say you have a table, or what to expect when someone says they have a table. Let's get into what does that mean? What are they referring to? What's the table? Because some of us, we may not even know what's the table. We be sitting there like, okay, forks, spoons, knives. Listen, so fam. When someone say they have the table, they saying they the whole package, right? They saying they got the mind, body, soul, spirit, goal. You know what I'm saying? They letting it be known like, babe, being with me, things is gonna be he. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you don't, but listen, so fam. There are tables out there, okay? I'm not saying that they not the table. The question is, who houses that table at? Right? Who houses that table at? You got this, you got that, you got A, B, C, D, E. Because everybody got a different table, for the most part. But majority have the legs, the chairs, right? These are, when we say the legs, the chairs, we say the brain, the body, the mind. That is what God refers to, right? Now there's going to be a house that this table is at, right? So now when we say the house, right, the Lord's house, the Lord's house. Not everybody's table is at the Lord's house. Some people's table got kicked out of the Lord's house, and it's down the street at Destruction House. You know what I'm saying? It's over there at Confusion House, right? Because confusion got a house, destruction got a house, manipulation got a house. So you want to be mindful that, okay, if they have this table, you know where that house is at. You want to be paying attention to red flags. Everyone always talk about red flags. We know about red flags, right? And you just want to be mindful that it's where you're trying to go, or it's where you at, rather, right? It's where you at. So maybe we're not at our peak, because to be honest, the peak keeps growing, all right? So there's always another peak on top of a peak on top of a peak, in case you didn't know. But, you just want to make sure it's where you at. All right, so if you on your path, on your journey, and you putting God in your forefront, you want to make sure God is in your forefront. See, oftentimes we overlook this number one thing, and we think that we can do everything without God. And I had someone ask me the other day, why did you become a life coach? Like, why you want to be a coach? And I explained to them, and I'm going to explain it to you, so I'm going to share it with you. One of the main reasons why I became a life coach is because when I had everything, and I mean everything, you know what I'm saying? Every worldly accomplishment and all that great stuff, and God wasn't in the forefront, okay, there was bitterness, there was no peace, there was confusion, right? So if you someone and you dealing with so much confusion this and that. Build your relationship with God for you. You know, don't be so quick to follow every little rabbit hole and think that's how God is supposed to be there for you. So it does look different for everybody. God made us all different. There's not one person out here walking around with the same exact fingerprint. Okay? The same exact fingerprint, same exact face, same exact anything, you know? So you just want to be mindful. And that's a parent-wise, you know? But even so, we all going to laugh a little differently. You're not going to meet somebody that's going to be exactly the same. You know what I'm saying? Like a complete replica. All right? The only replica out there of you is you. Ooh. Those that get it, those that don't, won't. Hey, let's keep it moving. So, so fam, you want to see if God is in your forefront of your finances, right? How your finances looking, right? How those relationships looking, right? So we want to make sure God is there. God is present. We praying to God. We asking for blessings. We asking for guidance. We asking for all these brands, and we asking for creativity, and we asking for air, right? We just asking for air. We asking for. Listen. The same way you asking God for these things is the same way He asking. Okay. 1 + 1 gotta equal 2. Right? So if you're saying you want peace, and you want love, and you want riches, okay? Is it adding up with your circle? Is it adding up in your home? Are you in a home where God could come and be at peace? Are you in a home where you can hear God speak? Do we create a comfort space to hear God's voice, to hear guidance, to know when it's time to go left or go right? Because some of us, we don't have that clarity, and we following followers, right? And we keep being just moved into a circle, not really elevating, not really going up, but just going in a circle. I remember that circle thing, that loop, right? The loop. You know the loop. You be like, make it stop. You be closing your eyes, you be like, Lord, get me out of here. You be closing your eyes, you be like, Lord, ooh, right? Because it's just every day the same thing, the same results, the same nonsense. When you going to be more truthful? When you going to be more truthful and accept what you see? When you accept what you see, baby, that's internal, that's in relationships, that's in these family ships. Accept what you see. Accept what you have been given. Right? Just take it. It's like accepting who you are. When you look in the mirror and maybe your lips don't look as voluptuous and voluptuous as you want them to look. Maybe your eyebrow isn't as thick as you want it to be. Right? But you just be like, I'm going to accept it. I'm going to make it work. Right? I'm going to go get a little wax and put a little brow powder on it and walk out the door. Right? The best way it can be. I'm going to just go to the gym and work on this body. Right? We want to just accept what it is. I'm going to just get me a wig. Yep. I'm going to just get me a wig. I'm going to just make it work. Make it work, so fam. With what you have been given. Right? But make it work in truth. Don't listen to the lies. The lies, when you listen to the lies, so fam, you will be so distracted and pushed to the side of your path and your journey, excuse me, that it's going to be harder for you to get back on track. Right? Because you're over there distracted by a fantasy. Distracted by words and not actions. That is the one of the number ones, because we got a lot of number ones, but number one reason why people just don't move and don't grow is like they're waiting for the impossible, I want to say, or waiting for the impossible. If they don't have the same eyes as you, right? Eyes, meaning they don't put God first like you put God first, it's not gonna work. It's just it's oil and water. It's not gonna mix. It's not gonna mix. No matter what you do, that oil and that water not gonna mix. So no matter what you do in those relationships that they don't put God first, you gotta ask yourself, okay, if they don't put God first, who they putting first? Right? If they're not putting God first, who they putting first? Where does that lead? That's your follow-up question. Okay, they don't put God first. Who do they put first? And where does it lead? Right? So when you ask those questions, God will show you. Oh, Lord. God will show you. Okay. And it's up to you to choose if that's where you wanna settle with. Like if that's where you wanna go. That's where you wanna go? Okay. Go ahead. See you later. See you later, alligator. See, we ignore people's results. One more time. We have to stop. Let's add a little something to it. We have to stop ignoring people's results, right? Let's talk about results. What are results? Because this is going to relate to the table, right? The results at the table, right? What are results? Mentality, right? How is the positivity in the mentality? How are they viewing the problems in their life? How are they viewing the problems in other people's life? How are they judging, right? Because some of us, we have to learn how to have better judgment without being so judgmental, right? And being judgmental is when we just start. You become too judgmental when you start getting upset or annoyed by the way someone chooses to live their life. Right? So if you get annoyed, like, you start doing all that. Oh my God. Right? Now, if you disagree, it's different, right? So you when you are having better judgment and you disagree, right? It's more of, I disagree. And you leave it like that. Sometimes we disagree and then we keep going with it. We keep it going and going and going. And we just start talking about it and we just feeding it and 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 feeding it. Because now, what does that say about you? Oh, okay. You up on that pedestal, huh? You judging, you like, right? then that's when we go back to that glass house.